In the dead of night on October 12, 2025, the silence of southern Russia was shattered. A single Ukrainian drone, a Switchblade 600, sliced through the dark sky, locking onto a target that Russia thought was untouchable, its most secure military rail route. What happened next would cripple Russia's entire southern supply chain and trigger one of the most brilliant tactical strikes of this war. This is how Ukraine destroyed Russia's military rail lifeline. And what happened after will leave you speechless. Let's dive in. For months, Russia had relied on a single rail corridor stretching from Rostov-on-Don to Crimea. Every tank shell, every missile, every meal for frontline soldiers passed through this artery. Ukraine knew it couldn't take down Russia's war machine head-on, so they turned to Atesh, a Ukrainian-led psyops and sabotage network. Atesh agents began feeding fake intel into Russian command lines, making Moscow believe that Ukrainian commandos were planning an ambush near Melitopol. Meanwhile, the real operation was already underway, 200 kilometers away. At 03:12 a.m., a Switchblade 600 drone was launched from behind Ukrainian lines. It flew low, radar invisible, and targeted a rail signal station near Tokmak. When the signal lights went dark, the train loaded with 2K-22 Tunguska shells was forced to halt. Seconds later, click, boom. Ukrainian special ops detonated remote claymores along the rail tracks. Steel fragments ripped through the locomotives, igniting a chain of explosions that lit up the night sky. By dawn, Russia's main southern ammo line was gone. But Ukraine wasn't finished. Knowing Russia would scramble air defenses, Ukraine launched a fleet of Bayraktar drones, not for attack, but for deception. They flew straight into Russian airspace, emitting fake GPS signals to spoof Pantsir missile systems. The Russians panicked. They fired missile after missile, thinking they were intercepting real threats. But those missiles didn't hit drones. They hit something far worse. Their own $500 million ammo depot, thanks to GPS spoofing signals bouncing off the Bayraktars. A single mistake, engineered by Ukrainian electronic warfare, erased months of Russian logistics in the matter of minutes. With the ammo depot gone and rail signals destroyed, Ukraine sent in 20 FPV suicide drones. Their target? A critical rail bridge over the Molochna River. Each drone cost less than $20,000, but together they delivered a $20 million hit, collapsing the bridge and cutting 60% of Russia's southern ammo supply chain. Train cars loaded with fuel and artillery plunged into the river, turning it into a boiling inferno. For the first time in months, Russian artillery went silent across the southern front. Satellite imagery the next morning told the story. Over $1 billion in rail logistics, vaporized. And the cost for Ukraine? Less than $400 worth of FPV components per strike. Russian telegram channels flooded with panic. Local commanders reported fuel shortages, immobilized artillery, and demoralized troops. Even Russian state media tried to bury the news, but the footage had already leaked. Explosions lighting up the sky, the shattered bridge, the burning convoy. Ukraine's psychological operation had done more than destroy metal and tracks, it shattered confidence. Within hours of the strike, Ukrainian mechanized units advanced 3.5 miles along the southern corridor. Without ammo resupply, Russian tanks were sitting ducks. Artillery fire dropped by 70%, and Russian drones went offline due to lack of fuel shipments. Ukraine didn't just destroy a rail line, it paralyzed an entire front. This operation wasn't just a military strike. It was a message, clear, calculated, and devastating. That in modern warfare, precision and intelligence beat brute force. That a $400 swarm of drones can outsmart billion-dollar defenses. And that Ukraine's innovation is rewriting the rulebook of 21st century warfare. Because when strategy meets technology, even the mightiest empire can be brought to its knees by a spark in the dark.